Welcome to the latest video, and in this video short, well, what we're excited to announce is the publication of the Six Sigma Blackbelt Handbook. 400 pages of golden advice on how to become a world-class black belt and earn double your normal engineer salary, because that's what being a world-class problem solver is all about. This is a how-to book. It's not a statistics book. So you are going to become a brilliant engineer. If you buy this book, you are going to become a brilliant black belt. Go to lulu.com and look for the Six Sigma Black Belt Handbook by Paul Allen right now. Welcome to the latest video. And in this lean lesson 15, what we're going to talk about is setup reduction. Reducing your setup time to single minute exchange of dies. In other words, standard work for your setups. Now, one of the things about a kind of standard approach, if you like, is that your business should be obsessed with minimizing setup time. It should be obsessed with minimizing setup time. We're going to talk about standard work and how all these elements of standard work link together, because by minimizing setup time, you will maximize flow. And if you maximize flow, you maximize money flowing through the belly of your company. This thing will make money like no other technique that you use. So standard work, you should be minimizing setup time. And to give you an idea of, one of the gold standards of lean, the gold standard of lean, for me, the best company in the world, bar no other companies like this, and of course it's Toyota. Toyota, and this is a great example of why they are a great company. They took their setup time from 8 hours to 10 minutes. Okay, but oh wow, that's brilliant. That's brilliant. What engineers, fantastic. No, that isn't the point. The point is how long it took them, because it took them 25 years to do that. That's the brilliance of Toyota. They understand what makes money. They understand the physics of production systems. They know that because it's physics, it's fundamental, and it cannot be circumvented. It cannot be replaced by any fancy theory, because we are down at the physics of manufacturing. Therefore, they are obsessed with this, and they do not change their minds. And that's the beauty of Toyota. They have this locked into their DNA, and they do not deviate. There is no brand new CEO at Toyota that goes, I got a fantastic new idea. No, they follow the physics, and they optimize their plant, and they smash everybody out of the water because of that. But SMED, what are you trying to do? Well, of course, you are trying to create standard work for your setups. Of course, one of the things that this pulls in, it also pulls in 5S, because what you're trying to do and what 5S is all about is to make the task easiest. Now, of course, a great example of 5S that we all see on the TV and that people use all the time, of course, is the Formula One the Formula One tyre change. That's the kind of public, it's the public example of setup reduction. If you changed a tyre on your car, how long would it take just to change one tyre? Maybe about 15 minutes, something like that. For me, probably longer. My boot is full of all my workshop equipment. It'd take me 15 minutes to empty the boot, probably. So compared to F1, which is now about 2 or 3 seconds, very, very different. So if you think about standard work, what's going on? Okay, there's a team, but everybody has a set role. Everybody has a standard piece of equipment. The equipment has been designed to be easiest, as in fastest. If you look at the jack, for instance, that jacks up the car, it's just a simple lever in a lot of cases. I know it's got a little bit more articulated and a little bit more automatic these days. There's buttons to release it and things. But effectively, it's a simple lever. If you think of our jack in our car is a mechanical screw usually. We have to, lots of mechanical advantage, but of course with mechanical advantage comes lots of movement, and with lots of movement comes lots of time. It's a time stealer. So we're going to have standard work. We're going to have a defined role. If it's one person, of course, there might be a defined order of activity. The equipment is going to have a defined layout. One of the videos I watched, a Formula One tyre change, one of the operators is actually standing with his arms out, waiting for the tyre. His role and responsibility is to take the tyre off once the nut comes off. And he's literally standing with his arms out. And the driver drives right into his hands. So he doesn't have to move, and the nut comes off, the tyre comes off, etc. Standard layout, standard equipment, easiest. We've removed time stealers. Time stealers on our car, of course, is the jack, but the other one is we got 5 wheel nuts. Formula One car's got 1 wheel nut. This isn't rocket science, but what you're doing is standard ways of setting things up. You're obsessed with doing this, and then you drive your standard work. And of course, what they've got is a standard procedure. If you want to see a non-standard procedure, go and look at a 1950 Indianapolis wheel change to see non-standard work. People just randomly walking around the car, doing various things, no equipment, no rules about how tight to do the wheel nut up. Nothing like that. And I think the tyre change takes about 2 minutes. Go and take a look at that, and you'll see the difference between standard work and non-standard work. And then, as I've said in other videos, once you've got standard work, continuous improvement kicks in. You know, when they first started doing tyre-only changes in Formula One, I think 6 to 8 seconds was the standard. Now they can do it between 2 and 3 seconds because they've done this. So you've got roles set, or the order of the routine, if it's one person, is set. Standard equipment that's easiest. Of course, the standard equipment, where will it be? It'll be laid out on a shadow board. It'll be laid out on a shadow board. Where will the shadow board be? Closest to the point of activity. Don't hang it on a wall a million miles away just because it looks good. Put the tools at the point of activity. Back to using some 5S. Make the job easiest. Then train the standard workout. You can see how well you do. Then let's CI kick in. Come up with better tools. Come up with better layouts. Eliminate certain tasks. Get rid of the wheel nuts. Get rid of the silly screw jack and replace it with something faster. That's the beauty of standard work. It allows the team, and of course now you can do team-based activities. The team can work on their own process because they are all doing the same thing. All 3 shifts are all doing the same activity. Now they can all work together to optimize the activity. And that's really where standard work scores. It isn't the fact that today you've come up with the best idea. It's the fact that in 20 years' time, you will be head and shoulders above everybody. And once you reach that point, you will take over the world. Think about Toyota in the 1950s. How big were they? Where were they? And by the 1990s, they were beginning to take over the world. That's because they were obsessed with standard work. It is the way to make more money.